Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan Marshall of the Natty 19 podcast. And before we kick things off, I wanted to get on here and say some things because, well, it's been a while since I've done one of these episode introductions, so why not? First, thank you all once again for listening to our show and supporting us as we continue this journey both in-game and at a game. It has already been such an experience to do this, to connect to other like-minded individuals who love and respect D&D the way we do. It's just been so awesome, and I can't tell you guys how excited we all are seeing those download numbers rise as we push forth. My last point is this. We've seen some great ideas and questions coming through our email, and while we have responded to each one, I wanted to tell you guys who made suggestions about house rules and such, your ideas are moving forward. We carefully take those ideas and rules to the table, and we bat them around a bit before implementing them. But with that being said, I'm extremely excited to announce that one such house rule is coming down the pipe here shortly that should certainly shake things up a bit. So stick with us, keep an ear out for that. Keep the ideas coming, keep the questions and stories coming. We get them at natty19podcast@gmail.com, and we do and will reply to every single one of them. So enough of this, we all know what you're here for. To lead us forward, I'll recite a famous quote. You can spend minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months overanalyzing a situation, trying to put the pieces together, justifying what could have or would have happened. Or you can just leave the pieces on the floor and move the fuck on. Tupac Shakur. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 15 of the Natty 19 podcast. The sick, the tired, and the hungry. Now, where did we leave? Okay, you guys, if I remember correctly, it's been a busy week. You guys had left, you guys rested, left to go to village, got back to your boats, and now you had been on the river for a little while, and now as the sun begins to set, you noticed Zimwabee's cloth there hanging on the side. It was on the western side of the river. Go.
Did we already ask if it looked like it had been placed deliberately, or if it looks like it was?
It looks like it was tied to a branch, and definitely a marker of sorts, just to kind of let you guys know. I mean, the canoe, the canoe had been pulled up out of the river, but you could still see it now sticking out.
Does it look like there's been a sign of a battle or a struggle?
No, not that you can tell from here. Yeah,
we should dock our canoes and maybe look for traces or sign.
We certainly should. I don't think that Zimwabee would purposefully mark his campsite unless he need for anyone else but us, and for any other reason but he needed us.
That is a good point. Maybe we should take this rag down as well.
Yes.
Yes, this is all very strange indeed.
And maybe we should cover up the canoes. So yeah, maybe look around for tracks or something.
Once we hit land, I will begin looking for tracks, see if I can find them.
Then Copernicus will start bringing up the canoes.
So as soon as you hit the ground, go ahead. Whoever's tracking, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Can he be aided?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys can look around.
All right. Does 12 succeed in aid?
I thought aid he rolls
Aid
twice.
is an advantage. Yeah.
It's automatic. I don't have to.
No, you give him an advantage.
Okay.
That's helping.
I was thinking I don't know. Maybe it was.
I like that idea though.
Pathfinder. I think it's like you got to hit a 10 or higher to aid the person.
7 and 11, or 11.
Well, the 11 makes
advantage.
it. DC 10.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
my aid was better than your actual fucking.
I know. Hey, I got a +3 to it.
Yeah, so Zavrel's searching around the area for tracks, and Quincy
There, Mr. Don Tracker.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Is that one right there?
Yes, I saw
So
it.
I'm looking towards the other side.
And you do manage to pick up some traces. Being a professional tracker, you notice that he didn't try very hard to cover his tracks. I mean,
Can I tell how hastily they were moving?
they were moving. There were scuffle marks, some dragging marks. It looks like they were dragging something.
Like a body, like the other guys that they were with, that was sick.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, I mean, you only got an 11, so I mean, I'm not gonna.
Is it going to take us?
Could have been dragging a log or something.
Is our movement impeded through the process of tracking? Like, if we track them to find them, will we be moving slower?
No, I mean, at this point, you're not really. It's weird. Yeah, at this point, you're not even really traveling along the world map anymore. You're kind of like in a spot, in a hex. So we're kind of zooming in like a Final Fantasy encounter, you know. So it doesn't take you long anyway before you hear voices. You actually come across a makeshift camp, and you do hear voices. Not at the camp though. The camp is actually empty, but you do pick up Zimwa B's tone a little ways through the thick jungle.
We should hide and scare them when they get back to camp.
You do notice upon checking out camp, there are blood stains on it was blood-soaked fabric and such. It does appear to have been the scene of of an incident of sorts.
My God. How much blood is there?
There's a fair amount of blood. It's if somebody's not dead, somebody was mortally wounded.
I'm going to see if
And they will be dead soon.
I'm going to see if I could find a wounded person. As they didn't leave anybody behind at camp.
No,
or
the
they're-
camp is devoid of.
I have a bad feeling about the sick one. Elgin. Remember Ivana in the tomb? And she was half turned.
Perhaps we should find them and see what's going on.
Yes, let's make haste.
Whoa, let's hold on here. What do you mean? You guys just want to go tramping through the jungle?
If we're not too late, they could use some help.
What say you, Irame?
Irame is going to touch her forehead with her thumb, like center between her eyebrows. And she's going to mutter an incantation, and you'll see like call it like a iridescent, see-through, shimmering mesh kind of drape over her. She's casting magic armor, and she's saying, "We need to rescue Zimwabi."
Yeah, the tone, the voice that you heard didn't sound. There was no indication of any kind of distress or urgency. It was just his tone coming through.
Yeah, I think Quincy's mostly thinking
But that being said,
of the wounded person. If there's a wounded person,
right?
he might have to heal him.
Yep. And that being, there is a lot of blood, and like Copernicus just
But
said,
if the transformation is complete, there might
Right.
be danger.
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to move toward where we hear Zimwabi.
All right. You guys make your way through. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just going for it?
I will go for it. I'll even call out, not super loudly, but enough so that Zimwabi would hear us, so that he's not startled.
After a little bit, tracking or following the voice through the woods, you do hear him call back. Quincy, is that you?
Zimwabi, is everything all right?
You're approaching now, and you see you see Savin and Zimwabi. They're gathering large stones, and Savin is looks up at you guys surprised, but he looks broken up a bit. And then you put the pieces together, and you notice the body of Elgin. The upper portion of his body is covered in the rest of Zimwabi's cloth.
Irame is quickly going to be excited that Zimwabi is not in danger and he's okay, but quickly dampen her reaction as to seeing the loss.
Yeah, Zimwabi motions to the body, and he says, yes, it is a gruesome situation and most unfortunate, but tell me, he kind of looks around, he's like, you had no luck finding the others.
I'm afraid the others were also... We were too late for them, Zimwabi.
That is unfortunate. Savin had said well enough that he was not very optimistic about finding the others, but there was still hope.
A quick scan, do either one of them look wounded?
No, I mean, it's hard to tell. Savin's still got quite a bit of blood on him, but at this point, it's just as kind of, it's starting to dry, just, not...
They're not moving in a way that,
yeah.
It's not holding himself.
I mean, Savin's appears exhausted and tired still from being held captive, possibly tortured here and there, but no real recent wounds anyway, other than a few little scrapes and bruises.
Zimwabi, what happened here? What happened to Elgin?
Quincy will start helping with the stones while they're speaking.
And Zimwabi turns to you, Copernicus, and he says, walk with me back to the camp, my friend.
Of course.
And you just start walking back. It's not too far, if anybody's wondering, maybe 50 feet or so. Zimwabi lowers his voice, and he says, the concoction that Elgin was forced to drink, it transformed him into a beast of sorts. It was not unlike the one we saw patrolling the village when we first arrived.
Nasty stuff.
I've heard legends of these things, these creatures, the snake people, but I never imagined anything like this. Savin, as you could probably guess, is a bit broken up about this, and as am I. Elgin was a good man, and I still, even though Savin has forgiven me, I still can't help but feel somewhat responsible for what has happened.
Well, at least we managed to save one of them.
Yes, this is true.
Gotta cut your losses, Zimwabi. Move on from it.
I am trying, Copernicus. And he starts getting the fire going, getting ready to boil water and everything like that. And and you guys get the body in a position. Savin gives you a thank you nod for helping. Savin goes on to say, I would like to bring his body back, but it is against all wisdom. He is better here, left to the jungle.
I will take the brooch out that we got from Richard, and I'll approach Savin and I'll say, it is not much, Savin, but I got this from Richard's body for you.
He takes it from your hand. He's staring at it. He says, So you saw them?
We did. I'm afraid we were too late.
That is most unfortunate. They were good friends. I've known them a long time.
It seems that Richard was onto something, maybe with his journals. He had written his observations down, and we have salvaged some of his writings.
May I see them?
Yeah, Quincy will produce the journals for him.
He's like, we are about finished here. Looks like the sun will be setting soon. Shall we return to camp?
Yes,
I am
of
parched.
course.
You guys make your way back to the camp. Zimwabi and Copernicus there, they've already got a fire started and some water going when you guys get back.
I'll apply my insect repellent and maybe start doing whatever needs to be done around camp.
Losing track of time in this jungle. What day is this now? What will the morrow bring? The 20th of Nightall?
Yep. So when you wake up tomorrow, it'll be 20 Nightall.
The winter solstice.
Irme is going to hold up her bug vial and try to look at it in the light and ask, does anyone know about how many uses we have left?
I have 14.
Exactly. Not a day more.
And she'll put some on.
Yeah, it's more like a sal. It's like a lip balm.
Yeah, I have 6 day of bug repellent.
6 days of bug.
I have 6 day of bug repellent, and I was erasing and writing every time I used it, but I was nervous I wasn't keeping good enough track, so I didn't know what anybody else had, because I thought we had around the same amount.
So the night passes by, between all your watches and everything. The night passes by rather uneventful, and the morning comes. The sun is shining. 20 night all. Everyone's saving still a little quiet, but he had looked over the journal that Quincy handed him. He gave it back to you, and he says, I will take this information to my superior. I appreciate everything you've done, and I'm sorry I could not be there to see them.
I'm sure they understand. Are you certain you do not want these to bring with you?
Yeah, actually, I'll take them. I will take them if you have no use for them.
Well, perhaps when we are back in Nyanzara, we could collaborate and share our information.
Yes, I would like that. If you don't mind helping me any further, of course. I fear I've already brought you guys into probably a lot more than you had bargained for.
I don't think it is for us to decide what the 3 C's shipping and freights will assign to us, but having the working knowledge of what's going on here in this jungle, well, I presume that it's valuable just for our own safety, if anything else.
Of course.
And perhaps the 3 C's would be willing to participate in a bigger coalition or take action for the bigger picture.
Like as I said, I would be an honor to work with you in the future. Zim would be at this point, finishes packing everything back up. Is there anything you guys, Irame, Copernicus, is there anything you guys wanted to do before you hit the river again? Looks like Zim would be. You guys have traveled with Zim would be long enough now. You see that it's getting to that point in his routine where he's about to go get the boats ready.
No, Copernicus is all packed up. He knows the drill.
All right, you guys rested. So you get back. It was a full rest. You get back. Your hit die equal to half of your level after a full rest.
We looked it up today, yeah. It's not all your hit die.
Ah.
We've had 2 full rests now. We should all probably.
But you still get all your hit points.
You get all your hit points back, yes. But in terms of your hit die, I think we
Right.
did it. I think at some point there was a question about it. But yeah, you get back hit die equal to half your total level. So you're level 4, you'd get back 2.
Yeah, and after the last full rest, we should all have all of our hit die.
Yep.
At this point.
I think that even though we weren't using it quite correctly, it wouldn't have. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's like wouldn't have changed anything too much.
No, because we hadn't really needed to.
Yeah.
I've never
regard.
seen that box before, the hit dice box. That's what that's for, huh?
Yeah.
I use it.
As do I.
Yeah, hit dice.
Okay.
I use everything backwards, though, I noticed. I do everything backwards, wherever anyone puts their modifier as opposed to their,
the little box.
all my shit's
You
backwards.
invert them.
Yeah. It felt like natural to me, and then when I saw everybody else's sheet, I was like, oh.
Oh, it's your own preference. So after all said and done, the journey back to Port Nyanzaru continues. After putting Elgin to rest, you break down the camp, take to the canoes once more. Traveling back along the same way, it's relatively uneventful. No traces of the dead crocodiles. You're sure that the wildlife had...
So those piranhas took care of him a long time ago.
The fish with teeth. I don't think they were piranhas. But it was, as you were coming up to that area, yeah, I'm sure you'd kind of look around like, where are those bodies at? Yeah, I wonder what happened to them. I know I would. You did at one point spot a flock of pteranodons overhead, but they ignored you. Those are the flying ones, which I always thought they were pterodactyls.
I'm sure there's a variety.
Yeah,
of
there's a variety of them.
There.
Oh,
But pterodons are the only ones that have their own train station.
Dinosaur train.
Dinosaur train.
Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
I don't know that.
It's a kid's. It's actually a good one because it's like mellow. It's not like
Informative.
over the top and yeah.
The second day on the river was even more so quiet. Each one of you, physically and mentally exhausted to some degree. You consider the events that had transpired. Zimwabi, the Zinti, Savin, and the other members of the Order of the Shield. The Yuanti and the tomb with the missing puzzle box.
The Arakocra, they really are quite the fierce folk, are they not?
Beautiful creatures. I think I'll paint them.
I did. When I was a child, I've heard stories of the Arakocra. In fact, the first song that I learned, was about the Arakocra.
How's it go?
Quincy will pull out his lute and start strumming. Arakocra,
Better than 3 brown mice.
Your thoughts continue as the journey does as well. Irmak especially, but at some point, you start to think, everybody, about, just how tired you are. The lingering death curse, and how just on this journey alone, how close some of you came to meeting the end. And for what? A charter that grants permission from an overreaching band of mercenary thugs who have somehow muscled their way into policing the new world. You think of Daniel Devatos and the 3 C's shipping and freight, is it worth it? It's strange, but in these tired moments, it all seems so trivial and to some degree even pointless.
Might be a bit more shy about coming back into the jungle. We were so excited just a few days before.
Hate the damn flaming fist.
I know, and to think all for a piece of paper. If we encounter danger here, do you think we can just show an assassin vine? Like, we have a charter. We're allowed to be here.
Whose name is on that charter anyways?
And where would the flaming
yes.
fist be if we were in trouble? It's not as if we get anything in return for this.
You pull the charter out and you see Zimwabi's name is on it.
Oh. His own charter, huh?
Spent the last of my 50 gold pieces on it.
Damn.
On the final stretch, among various topics, the tale of Ubtao comes up, and the forbidden city that was once Omu. If the legends were true, it would make perfect sense for him to turn his back on the shining city for what it had become. Many tales include similar events, but for him to abandon the rest of Chult, there must be more to it. 22 Nightall.
What?
What happened at 21?
Fast travel.
Fast travel,
Fast
bitch!
travel.
This is journeying, Think of
Yep.
the classic Indiana Jones map with the red line.
Yeah. Burm, 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 burm.
Yeah.
Probably can't. How much of that could we actually...
The airplane going over the Atlantic with the red line.
our little canoe making the red line along the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the images in the corner, the faded images in the corner, like the pteranodons flying overhead.
Yeah.
A little montage of like me splashing water at somebody.
Copernicus in the other corner pulling out the charter and
Yeah.
seeing Zimwabi's name.
Quincy singing Arakocra.
Zavril just being Zavril.
Sharpening his whips.
Savin. What does Savin do?
Cries and weeps and he's emo.
Makes us all uncomfortable.
He's not looking. I peg stones at him every once in a
I
while.
know you've been through a lot, but pull it together, man.
Waking up on the final day, you actually feel much better. You can't really tell if your bodies were acclimating to the rigorous effort or if closing in on Port Nyanzaru was the cause. Perhaps both. Either way, it was nice to hear Zimwabi and Savin sharing a few laughs from time to time. We didn't go into boat seating. So Zimwabi, I'm picturing Zimwabi and Savin are in the same canoe.
Yeah.
You've got 3 boats now at this point.
It's maybe 2 in
Did I think about that?
each.
Yeah, it would be 2, 2, and 2.
To be a 2, 2, and 2.
We've probably been stretching our supplies.
Okay. So, who's with who?
We should probably get Zavril in one with one of the... Zavril in one and Copernicus in the other. That way we have one of the more experienced or more fighterly
Yeah, I think
persons
that's a
paired
good
up
idea.
with
You want
an
to ride with
academic.
me, Irame? Get in the back and shut up.
Your charm never ceases to amaze me, Copernicus.
It's that 16 charisma shining through.
Irame will sit down and she'll like talking to a rock anyway.
That 16 charisma, he says, get in the back and shut up. What you hear is, get in the back, my lady. I'm at your service. So we spent winter solstice on the river. I don't know if any of you celebrate winter solstice, but
More in real life than D&D,
Right? That's right.
which is funny.
That is funny.
Does anybody have any stories about winter solstice? Like maybe traditions, family traditions, any kind of...
My family was slaughtered in front of me. Thanks for bringing it up.
Irame will picture in her mind her mom dressing her in a ridiculous outfit to be toted around for all the others to see. And
She permed your hair.
yeah, awful.
I won't bore you with the details.
All right, so we did a little bit of a traveling montage. It's now 22 night all.
Damn, I slept for 2 days.
You needed it.
I did.
Another day on the river and your muscles ache. You can't recall the last time you felt so sore. Every distant roar you hear gives the thought of how terrible it would be if you had to fight in this condition.
Roll for initiative.
Midway through the day, you can now spot where the river widens to meet the ocean, about 600 feet ahead of you. Zimwabi says, "We will be arriving in Port Nyanzaru by nightfall, my friends. Drinks will be on Zimwabi."
Nice.
I believe that is proper etiquette for a guide.
Everybody,
Everybody?
make a perception check.
Oh, great.
I love perception checks. Isn't that weird? I do. I adore them.
I enjoy failing them.
20.
17.
14.
8.
Hermé always has to do better at perception than everybody else, don't you?
That's why she likes them.
Everybody's in good spirits.
Must be
Few
something about those
chuckles.
glasses.
Few chuckles here and there when guys look up ahead, maybe about between 150 and 200 feet ahead. Someone notice something in the water. You see 2 things protruding up from its surface, and they're making a bit of a ruckus, splashing here and there. It looks like fast movement, fast motion. Something appears to be fighting over something else. 2 things appear to be fighting over something. You could guess.
Perhaps we should give it birth.
Now,
Is there enough room to sort of like give
Skirt
it a
around
wide?
it.
Yeah.
yeah, so as you guys are going, you slow your roll a bit. Zimwabi has his attention. He's staring at it for a little bit. You can tell he's getting nervous. It's like, I do not like this. We are close to the ocean. It could be in all manner of things. And almost on cue, they start heading your way.
Of course they do.
If you're still a good ways out, about 150 feet out, but let me...
As long as it's not any type of like water dragon or something.
We should be okay. Provided it's not a water dragon. You see 2 plesioths coming your way.
Plesioth is like a...
Plesiosaurus.
It's a very
Okay.
polite dinosaur.
Is that like
I don't
Loch
find
Ness
it
Monster?
very pleasing.
So we got 2 Loch Ness Monsters coming at us?
Yep.
Nessie.
All right.
Are they vegetarians?
Nope, they are meat eaters. They were fighting over a dead octopus corpse. Now let me show you where you guys are on the map. Whoa, get back here. Oh my god, roll 20, you fucking asshole.
I hate their map navigation.
Jesus
Yeah, it's-
Christ, it's so bitchy. Alright, here we go. Let's roll for initiative. Let's start with Quincy. What do you got?
15.
Copernicus Heart.
19.
Oh shit.
Not as exciting on
Man.
initiative, but I guess it's
It's cool.
still
He's
pretty
up
good.
there.
It's good.
He's
So that
up
makes it
there.
a 21.
I think you definitely get the most, huh?
Xavier, what do you
19.
got?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
13.
Xavier
Always
with
go
a
last.
13 and Irame
With a 17.
with a 17. All right, and Zimwab with a 12 and Savin with a 2. All right, now you guys are in 3 boats. Copernicus and Irame are sharing 1. Xavier Quincy is in the middle between the other 2 boats, and the boat to the right, you have Zimwabi, Savin. Now you have got 2 plesiosauruses coming in hot towards you guys. They must have sensed the ripples. One could guess. Here we go. The plesiosaurus. They look so much more badass in the picture. They look like that fucking sea dragon. Yeah. We'll have to put a picture of these things on our Tumblr. I know we keep. Do we have a?
They're like
image
enormous,
Tumblr?
aren't
We got
they?
Pictures going up. On it.
Yeah, we do.
Plesios are large creatures. Okay, 40 swim speed. Got it. Okay, here we go. Top of the round, Copernicus Heart with a 19. You're
All
up.
right. Copernicus looks a little uneasy, but he hangs over the side of the boat, scoops up a big handful of water, and you can hear him mutter,
I hope this works, Sybil.
and he stands up, lifts the water above his head, and he starts casting an incantation. And as the water drips down onto him, it turns icy, and armor of frost starts surrounding his body as he casts armor of Agatha. And let's move this boat forward 30 feet.
All right. Next up, Irame.
Irame is going to follow Copernicus's lead and cast Mage Armor.
All right. Once again, Irame begins to shimmer with a magical aura, and then it zhink, sucks into her. Next up, Quincy.
Quincy will just he'll use his mantle of inspiration to give Irame, Copernicus, and Xavier 5 temporary hit points and a movement reaction.
My spell gave me 10 temporary hit points, so that won't apply to me.
Okay, but they don't stack.
Yep, just so it reflects on them.
Okay, well, all right. Well, he didn't know that, so he'll still choose you. He'll say,
Choose you.
"We're almost home, team. We just got to get through this. We can do it." And he'll move he'll move forward as well with the canoe. But anyway, yeah. So that we get 30 more feet for each boat, each of our boats.
So Cappy and Irme are way up there now.
We're just catapulting ourselves into danger.
Well, we're ahead of them.
It's the way I like it.
Xavier, you're up.
Zabril is going to cast Hunter's Sense. Or actually, hold on a second. Never mind, I cannot do that yet. Zabril is going to use his Slayer's Prey. Never mind, I can't do that either. Hold on a second. Is there something I can do within 60 feet? Alright, no. I am just going to use my turn to move, I guess. We will move an additional 30. Everything has a distance. I didn't realize we were so far away.
All right, Zavril gets going on those paddles, closes more of the gap. Zimwa B sees you guys taking off, and he shouts. Well, actually, they move forward. So they move forward, not too far behind Copernicus and Arame. And now at this point, Zimwa B spots the creatures moving towards you guys. And he says, "Quickly, get the boats to shore. They will crush them."
Yep, that's probably a smarter idea. It's a good day to die.
Glad you feel that way, Zavril.
Not really. Left shore, right shore. I'm thinking right.
Is one closer than the other, or are we precisely in the middle?
We're precisely in the middle.
Okay, we will go for the eastern shore then.
All right. Saven is up, and he, after hearing Zimwa B scream that, he immediately starts rowing towards the edge.
Oh, that edge.
He's going to. He wants
Go
to
to
be on
the
the
eastern shore.
He wants to be on
Yell
this.
to him.
You want to go
we're
to the
definitely
east?
yelling to him. Yeah.
Heatherway, Saven.
Really? You want to go to the
To
east?
the eastern shore.
Okay. Go to the east. Saven, acknowledging your cries, moves up. Now, it's going to be a strength check.
Well, me and Quincy are going to fail that one.
None of us are all that strong.
That's why we're going to the east, in case the boats get wrecked.
DC 13 strength athletics check. And the other people in the canoe can use the help action to give an advantage, apparently. Right. You notice Saven and Zimwa B managed to get their canoe. Fucking trees in my way now. They managed to pull their canoe up. Round 3.
Yeah, we'll move our canoe, Copernicus and Irma, for the eastern shore.
Eastern Shore. Yup. So, who's leading the charge? Copernicus, you doing it, and Arame's helping you?
Yes, that's what I would assume.
All right. So let's. So Copernicus gets an advantage.
Ooh, well, that's a fail. That's a 10. And thatty 19.
Jesus, man.
All the time.
It's this purple die, man.
Is this the third one tonight already?
I don't know. I think second.
It's the runes that I made you.
So yeah, we bolt over to the eastern shore, hop out, and start ripping the canoe out of the water.
Yep. So you're now on the shore. You just pulled the boat up. All right, Arame, you're up.
Irame will. I guess I'll just watch Quincy and Zavril sail towards disaster.
You've got it, boys. 2 versus
All right, so we're going
2.
straight, right?
It's a fair fight now.
All right,
Do you guys have any Oreos?
Quincy, you're up.
Oh, Quincy is definitely following the rest of the groups to the eastern shore.
All right, strength check.
I guess I am assisting.
Does it have to be that, or can I assist can I assist Zavril since he's right after me?
You could, I suppose.
Either or. I mean, whoever's doing it gets an advantage.
All right, I will assist Zavril with the canoe.
So Zavril, give me a strength.
I think it would have been better if I assisted you.
Do you have penalties? Are you
You
weak?
said athletics, right?
Strength?
Yeah, strength athletics.
You have advantage.
Okay, good.
That was a 6.
Oh.
Yes, there was a 6, the first one.
They slide
told you.
back in.
Well, my athletics is lower than yours.
Yep.
Yup.
I wondered if we were doomed because Quincy doesn't have a lot of strength,
I have 10 strength.
and he's not very athletic either.
Yep, that makes 2 of us.
You're more athletic than I.
Zimwa B sees you guys struggling, and he...
Wait, who is the goods on their
Zim would be
canoe?
in Savin. Well, actually, yeah, that's the way they would have packed it. Zim would be rushes up.
Do you have to dash to get there?
No, it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's 30.
But yet, Cappy and Airman just chilling in their boat, watching us fail.
It was Zim Woodby's turn. He moved, and he can't... Well, let me see. Zim Woodby chucks a spear at the nearest Plesioth.
What?
Bring him right to him. Right here.
They're coming at you already.
Yeah.
There's no... yeah. And... the spear just right by. Zim would be acting impulsively. The Plesioth. Now this one,
Done.
the Plesioth nearest you. I mean, this thing's swimming. Faster than you guys can
Holy shit.
run. So he comes up. The nearest one comes up to Quincy and Zavrel's boat and just reels up. Comes down, and you guys jump out of the way, and he smashes the boat into smithereens. Zavrel,
Yes.
as you scramble to get whatever footing that you can to prepare for the attack, your senses kick in, and staring up at the long neck of the beast that's crashing downward, landing directly between you and Quincy, you realize the creature's intent. I was careless, you thought, as you feel yourself splash down into the river. As the warm Soshenstar waters fold in around you, you hear the small, unmistakable voice of Malix, your son. Father, can you read another one? Perhaps the one of the Medusa, or the vile harpies, and how they eat careless children for breakfast. Startled, you turn your head in the direction of the child's voice, and you realize that you're now sitting on the end of a bed, looking down at the boy's sickly face. And before you can reply, a woman speaks. It's the voice of your wife, Raylene. For the sake of the gods, child, you need to get to sleep, or there'll be something worse than harpies coming down on you. You need a rest if you hope to get on your feet again. All right, sorry, Mother. The boy closes his eyes, as if trying to will sleep. In the next moment, you're standing outside of your home as the sun is setting behind the snowy peaks. You're holding Raylene in your arms, and she's looking up at you with teary eyes. I understand why you think you need to do this, Zavrel, and I know the boy will always adore you. I just hope he doesn't follow down the same foolish path as his father. You tense up a bit at the thought of your only kin facing the horrors that you've seen. And at that, you're jolted awake by a large creature slamming against you as a Plesioth maneuvers through the splintered debris of the canoe floating in the water around you.
Nice.
We'll see you next time.
Hopefully Zimwabi and the other rescue had sense enough, as Richard had to kill.
Okay, start over in one sentence.
I'm so tired. I'm so sorry.
Like, I didn't know, was I cutting out there, or was it just really
No,
slow?
that was just me.